Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. Yes, I'm alive. kind of. My voice is still a bit rough, so I'm sorry about that. But I know that I told you that I wasn't going to do wrap-ups anymore, but because I haven't done like what the fuck am I reading in a whole month, I'm just going to tell you all the books that I read last month, and this is going to also serve as my wrap-up for the Indie Accords readathon. Without further ado, let's just get started because I read quite a few books, not that many honestly. Some books I finished in August, but I'm just going to include them here. The first book that I finished last month was my reread of The Sword of Kagan by ML1. This is one of my favorite books of all time, so of course, again, I give it 5 stars. It's just so good. Like, what can I say? I just freaking adore this book. It's fucking amazing, dude. I thought I wasn't going to cry. Like, I was just like, okay, be mentally prepared for this. You know what's going to happen. Don't worry, I still cried because I knew what was going to happen. Again, my emotions were all over the place. I decided to start with this one because I was in a bit of a slump. I'm still kind of in a slump, so I decided to mood read throughout the whole month and see if I can just get back to reading. But yeah, what can I say? If you just want to see my full thoughts on this book, I did a dedicated review like a year ago or something like that. I just really love this book. It's amazing. I understand why so many people just like don't like it because the kind of climax of the book is right in the middle, and then we have like 200 pages or so of the action slowly coming down. So I understand, but I just really like to see the aftermath of a battle. So I love this. Like, I love this. So the next book that I read was such a surprise. This is Little White Hands by Mark Cushion. This is a middle grade book, and as you probably know, I just don't read middle grade. Middle grade is not my thing, but I love this. It was so cute. Holy shit. So basically we're going to follow kind of a kitchen boy who gets wrapped in the mysterious escape of winter from its prison, and he basically has to become kind of a knight, which has always been his dream. It's just so cute. I cannot. It's really straight to the action, and I really was craving that when I read this. So it was just like, ah, perfect. Right on the point. So yeah, I really like it. Like, I really want to it's a series. I didn't know it was a series, but it is indeed. But yeah, I'm super excited. Like, it's just so cool. I love all the things related to the seasons. It was such a cool touch, and it feels so whimsical and so magical. I just really liked it. And Garlic is such a sweet boy. Like, I just want to smile because it's just so good. Like, honestly, it's such a fun book. It's extremely cute. If you just like middle grade in general, you're probably going to really like this. But even if you're someone like me who just prefers dark books, this was still super cute. So I will still highly recommend it. But yeah, I really want to continue reading this series. Like, it's so cool. I don't know if the second book is already out, but I need to check that and get it because it was amazing. Again, this was self-published. So good, man. So good. I will highly recommend you check out Little White Hands. I also completely forgot to tell you that I reread The Torch That Ignites the Stars by Andrew Rowe, which is book 3 in the Arcane Ascension trilogy. It's not a trilogy. A series. But man, I liked it. I didn't like it as much as book 2 and 1, but so many things are explained here. I saw a comment the other day on Reddit, I think it was, about the fact that Andrew Rowe doesn't explain the things that are going on in these books, and I'm just like, what? Like, I feel that we have one of the most like complex and explained magic systems here, so I just don't understand. I can get that you might not like it, but holy shit, this book is basically all about learning how the magic works. Like, all about that, and I just love that. My brain loves to know. So when you have a book just literally dedicated to explain to me how attunements work and how you can modify them, I like it. I still miss some characters here a lot. Few of them made like a little appearance, and that was really nice. But I still really like the series. I mean, it's my favorite series of all time, so I love it. But this one still sitting at a 4.5 stars rating for me. Probably. Still really like it. I read this one in December. I just immediately reread it because the audiobook came out and Nick Podell is an amazing audiobook narrator. So I had to do it. But yeah, if you have never heard me talk about Arcane Ascension, basically we're going to follow Corin. And in this world, when you turn into a certain age, I just don't remember the age right now. Oh my god, I'm such a fake fan. But you basically take this judgment, you go into these spires, and you have to make it through the end basically, and you will get a magical atonement. Then you have to go into military service for a couple of years, and then you're good to go and do whatever you want. But the thing is, Corin's brother disappeared inside the spear in his judgment, so he's basically there trying to find him. It's just so cool. Like, I love this series. It's pretty like heavy on the magic system and such, which is something that I adore. It's also really funny, and I'm not someone who loves like funny books and humor in general, but it's just so well done. I just really like it. Then another series really similar to this one, The Cradle. This is book 5, Ghostwater by Will White. I love this series. Like, I just ordered book 6. I'm so happy that I made it so much progress in this series. Like, I'm just genuinely happy. I will read book 6 this month. Like, I'm doing 1 book a month and I'm sticking with that, and I'm just really liking it. The problem is, like, talking about the plot of these books is getting more and more complicated because I don't want to talk spoilers. I really just hope that anyone who liked Arcane Ascension just read this. Probably more people have read this and haven't like read Arcane Ascension, but still, just do it. Please. It's just so much fun. Again, it's a literary RPG, meaning it has like some elements from video games. I just really like it. I just like it so much. Lena is such a cool main character. Like, he's a bit of a himbo, little bit, but I just really like him. He gets better and better with each book. He's very plain in book 1, like your average protagonist, but now he's just like, I just want to give him like a hug. He's just like, hey, you okay? But yeah, I really like it. I really like the progression of this series. This book was great, but still, I think I'm going to stick with Black Flame as my favorite book for now. This one is really close, like 4 stars, 4.5. It's still really good. I have given all the books like 4 and above. Like, I just really like them. Underlord. That's the name of book 6. I'm really excited because of that name. So we'll see what's happened. But yeah, this one was a little bit different from the rest of them, and I quite enjoyed them, but still, Black Flame is my favorite, and I cannot help. I kind of just want to finish reading them and then just binge read them all together, like the 9 of them. We'll see by the end of the year. But yeah, I give this one 4.5 stars. It's really good. I highly recommend you check out Will White. If you just really like all the books that I usually read too, so I think that you're really going to like it. The other books that I read for Indie Accords were How to Enslave a Human, which was a dystopia, and I quite enjoyed it. I listened to this one as an audiobook, and it got me really intrigued. It was pretty short, like it was on the shorter side. I believe it has like less than 300 pages or something, but I quite enjoyed it, I had to say. Like, I just really like this type of dystopia where everything seems perfect, but something starts to go wrong, and you're just of course something's wrong, but I don't know, I just really like uncovering that. So this one was really made for me. I just like that the character remained consistent throughout the whole book, because sometimes in dystopia, like when the main character discovers that something's wrong, they're just like, oh, I'm here, I'm just going to change everything. It's just like, are you sure about that, my guy? So he sticks with his personality and how he was behaving at the beginning of the book throughout the whole like novel into like a very specific plot point. So that I really enjoyed. Talking of this without spoilers is so hard. Also, the ending was super bittersweet, and I quite enjoyed it, I have to admit. Like, I was hoping like for, not hoping, but expecting like a super happy ending, but it was pretty bittersweet, so I really like it. There's this scene before the end that was super heartbreaking, but again, I'm such a monster, I quite enjoyed it. So I would really highly recommend that you check it out. If you like dystopia, you're really going to like it. I don't think that brings like anything totally new to the genre, but it really is super enjoyable. So I give this one 4 stars. Then I also read Free the Darkness, which I have owned for like, I don't know, 3 years maybe. I had the audiobook and I was just like, you know what, I'm not feeling like my TBR right now. I want something in audio, so I did it. And I'm between happy and a little bit unhappy about it, because I quite enjoyed it, but at the same time, it has such a like high score on Goodreads. I was just expecting something like spectacular, and it kind of felt like your average grim dark fantasy where your main character is fucking perfect, but oh my god, everything is so dark. And I was just a little bit underwhelmed. Like, I did like a bit of a review on Goodreads. If you want to check it out, I will link it down below. I'm not sure. Like, I don't think that I'm going to continue with this series. I'm still quite curious because there are not that many like grimdark series out there that people really enjoy. But this one is pretty popular, so I don't know. I've been quite unlucky with grimdark lately. I just don't know why. But I don't know. I also hate the trope of every single female character wants to fuck the main character. Like, it's just so annoying at this point. Like, why everyone complains that YA is the same, but they keep doing it. Like, why? That was a little bit bothersome, but the plot I enjoyed, even though it doesn't really have that much of a plot, if I'm being honest. But the awkwardness of the main character was kind of funny. I have to admit, like, he was raised in a very secluded place, and now he's dealing with socialization, kinda. So that was pretty fun. Like, I kind of laughed, like, out loud a couple of times. So that's cool. But, you know, we also have the trope like, oh my god, he's the greatest swordsman of all time at 17, was he? Or something like that, which, yeah, it's fine. Like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But I don't know. I just didn't love it. I give it 3 stars. Still a good book. It's still a good book. But it wasn't mind-blowing. I just didn't love it. Like, it was an okay time. I actually kind of binge read it. It's a very good book. Just spend some time on it, like, you know, just to get out of your head for a little bit. That was his strongest point, I believe. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Those were basically all the books that I managed to read for India course. I was such a failure as a captain because I didn't reach. Thank God my team was just like, we're ready, don't worry. But yeah, I didn't manage to do anything, basically. Thank God for them. But yeah, those were basically all the books that I read for that. And then I went in a really weird mood. So just like, I got into such a weird mood then. Like, I started reading nonfiction. I was feeling pretty bad, okay? I was feeling pretty bad, and I started reading nonfiction. I just don't know either. So the first nonfiction book that I read was Man's Search for Meaning, which had great ratings in general, and is basically about this true survivor of the Holocaust, but it's really mixed with psychology, which is a subject I really like because I'm a psychologist. I find like reading nonfiction really complicated because many times the topics that are taught like are true and real and really well explained, but I might not just enjoy it. So I don't know, but this one was great. I highly recommend this one to anyone. Really, like, give it a try, because half of it is his experiences in the concentration camp, and the other half is like his psychology proposal. It's just so complex and so cool. Like, I really like it. Again, I will recommend it to anyone. Like, it's a book that you should read, like, definitely like a must read. So yeah, I give Man's Search for Meaning like 5 stars. Like, read it. Just go ahead and do it. It's also a very short book, so just do it. Like, do it. Then, because I just love to learn about sleep, I don't know why, but it's one of my favorite like subjects inside psychology. So I read the Nocturnal Brain, and this one I like. It's a nonfiction book, but everything is told by real cases. Like, you will have like a little explanation at the beginning, for example, insomnia, and you will have like a chapter about insomnia, but it will be told by the experience of someone, basically. And it's all told throughout a real case, which is something that some people might really enjoy and some people might not really like. I stand a little bit in the middle. Like, I just really like to know like the intricate behind everything. That's why I read another book that I will talk about in a little bit. But the real cases are always nice, like true cases are always nice. So I'm still a little bit on the fence about it. So I don't know. I just don't know. But I gave it 4 stars. Like, the content was great. I wanted to like know a little bit more about the behind the scenes kinda. It's weird. It's a really weird sentiment, but yeah, overall I liked it. I enjoyed it. I read it super fast for being a non-fiction, so I give it 4 stars. Then I read Why We Sleep, which was the book. Like, if you're looking for a book that will explain some things, this is Why We Sleep. Though I have to say, I became a little bit paranoid because I know that sleep deprivation is one of the worst things that can happen to you. Like, your brain will malfunction a lot with sleep deprivation. Like, it's so hard. But I was in a chapter, and again, this month I didn't sleep a lot because a lot of things were going on in my personal life. I was just super paranoid listening to it because it was just like, oh yeah, sleep deprivation can cause like cancer, Alzheimer's, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm going to die. Like, so paranoid, telling it to one of my friends, like, that's it, I'm dying. But yeah, if you just really like to know how your brain works and definitely why you sleep and why you need to sleep and what rest do to your body, like, you will really like this one. I gave it 5 stars. I really like it. It's very true to the source material also. But yeah, I really like it. And I also have another book by the same author that I will try and read this month. That is, I believe it's quite similar, if I remember correctly. But I really like this author. Like, I will definitely keep reading his other works. Like, it's like the perfect type of non-fiction that I like. Like, it's not super heavy, but it has like enough like explanations and examples to make it like bearable. Really like it. I also read Starfish by Peter Watts, and this is basically about a base underwater, and they are building it and what isolation does to your brain and to your behavior, and that was super cool. That was super cool. That's something that I really like to see in books in general. This is kind of a mix between horror and fantasy. And for some reason, Peter Watts is just like obsessed with vampires. There's always vampires on his books, or the mention of vampires. I don't know why, but it's fine for me. Like, it's fine by me. Like, yes. Yeah, I have to say that I didn't really like this one as much as Blindside, because Blindside is such a fucking masterpiece. But I quite enjoyed this one. I read it physically, and yeah, overall, I just don't have that many thoughts about it. I just prefer, oh, I still have my bookmark here. I prefer like the first part of the book where everything was really mysterious than just the last part, which was, it didn't have like the same paranoia feel that the beginning had. So that's probably why. But because I just don't want to make this wrap up super long, I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, I will recommend Peter Watts to anyone, honestly. Like, he's such a good science fiction writer. I just really need to continue reading his works. So yeah, as I was telling you, I went through a fiction phase also. So I read The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. He's one of my favorite authors, and I'm a little bit sad. So I was really anticipating this release because, again, where is it? My Best Friend's Exorcism and the Southern's Book Club Guide for Slaying Vampires are one of my favorite books. I just love them so much, especially the vampire one. Like, it's so good. I might reread it actually, but it's so good. So I was really anticipating this one. It just really didn't work for me. I love the trope of the final girl and the summer camp and all this stuff. I just love it. It's just one of my favorite tropes. I enjoyed it every single time, even though I know what's going to happen. But this one didn't work, and I just cannot really pinpoint why. I just didn't like the main character. Everyone was super annoying. Like, I don't know. I just don't know, because in his other works, like, everyone is just a bit of an asshole and you're just like on board with that. But in this one, because the main character was also a bit of an asshole, I was just like, holy shit, I cannot stand anyone in this damn book. Do I have to say that I like the way it was told? Like, we got to discover things all the time. That was a point that I really liked. But the rest, I just really wasn't feeling it. Like, I had to say that I just really wasn't feeling it. Maybe it was my mood at the time. I wasn't in a great mood either. But I was hoping I was going to love this book. So, I don't know. I didn't even get a physical copy. Like, I just listened to it as an audio. I don't know. I might read it in the future when I'm just better to see if I actually like it. But for now, it's staying on a 3-star rating. I'm super mad about it, honestly. Like, I wanted to like it so much. But yeah, a little bit of disappointment there. Probably going to make it into the list, which is really sad, but what can I say? Then, second to last, I read The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig, which was a surprise. I thought it was going to be like, it was weird. At first, I thought it was going to be like a horror mystery book. Then, apparently, it switched to like a horror ghost type of story, which I just don't really like. But then, it switched to more of a science fiction book, and I was just like, okay, I'm on board. I'm on board. And I really like towards the middle till the end. We have a little bit of a game with parallel realities. Such a surprise. I've seen a lot of my friends reading it lately, so I will highly recommend that you check it out. I just don't want to talk about this one a lot because it's just super cool, and I will highly recommend that you check it out. I wish that I was in a better mood at the time that I read it because I'm pretty sure that I enjoyed it more. But I will get a physical copy like really soon, and I'm probably going to reread it towards the end of the year to see if it actually made it to just like my best of the year. Probably, but I really like it. I'm staying between a 4 and a 4.5 again, but for now I'm just going to leave it at that. But still, really good. It had like such a mix of things. I just really like it. It kind of reminded me a lot of a Blake Crouch book more than a Chuck Wendig one, but I think that the two of them just like move in the same vein, and I just really like it. Like, I just really like it. So just to finish this, because it's going to be super long, the last book that I read, I finished it this week. It was a nonfiction, Thinking Fast and Slow, which was a pretty popular nonfiction book on BookTube in general. So I liked it. I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. I liked the beginning better, but it was still a pretty interesting book. I just wasn't really on board with system 1 and 2. I don't know. We just don't categorize them as like that. So for some things where it was just like on point, and others I was just like, are you sure about that? So I don't know. Though I quite enjoyed it. I did a test. Because I knew that when you just overload some part of your brain, it cannot process other things. So there's this thing where if you are walking, the faster you walk, the less kind of brain capacity you have. So you cannot do like really complicated math problems where you're all walking. And we were trying that. It was fucking hilarious. Some things that you can try at home are really funny and just really cool to try. But overall, I'm staying between a 3.5 and a 4 stars. I rounded it up to a 4 star in Goodreads. Still pretty good non-fiction, really easy to follow. So if you're thinking about reading it, I will highly recommend it. But again, I just really like psychology books in general. So maybe it's a little bit easier for me. But I don't know, if you're thinking about trying this book, 100% would recommend it. But yeah, I just speed run through this a little bit, but I'll see you again this week because I'm about to record like 2 other videos. So if everything goes nicely and smoothly as I hope so, I'll see you again this week. I'm just trying to record all the old videos that I did that I had for last month. But yeah, have you read any of these books? Are you planning on reading any of these books? If you have any questions, any recommendations, please just leave them down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Oh my god, it's so nice to be back. I'm so happy.